Did you know that 80% of people who use baking soda are completely unaware of its powerful healing properties? That's right. This everyday product, which costs just a few cents per serving, quietly sits in millions of homes, hiding its true potential. In fact, many health experts consider baking soda to be one of the most underrated natural remedies on the planet. Think about how many times you have used baking soda to freshen up your refrigerator or to bake a pie, without even realizing what else it can do for your health. What if I told you that this ordinary white powder has a rich and fascinating history of unexpected uses, some of which could completely change your approach to healthcare in old age? Why do so few people discuss the true power of baking soda? And more importantly, what are we losing by remaining ignorant about it? In this material, we will explore the little-known healing properties of baking soda. We will discuss who should be cautious and explain in detail how to use it safely and effectively. If you care about your health and are looking for sensible natural remedies, you should stick with us until the end. Before we begin, if you have not yet subscribed to the channel, please click the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you do not miss new health tips prepared just for you. If you enjoyed this video, leave a 1 in the comments. If not, leave a 0 so I can improve the content. Relief from heartburn and acid reflux. For many older adults, heartburn has become such a common occurrence that it is seen as an inevitable part of aging. After meals, especially in the evening, a familiar burning sensation in the chest rises to the throat. It disrupts sleep, spoils the mood, and often leads to reaching for antacids without a second thought. But what if one of the gentlest and most effective remedies has been sitting on your kitchen shelf all along? Baking soda, that simple white powder we add to baked goods or place in the refrigerator for freshness, has an amazing natural ability to neutralize stomach acid. When mixed with water, it turns into an alkaline solution that quickly soothes the burning sensation associated with acid reflux. And this is not just folk wisdom. It is chemistry at its most beneficial. When baking soda, or more precisely sodium bicarbonate, encounters excess hydrochloric acid in the stomach, it transforms into salt water and carbon dioxide. In other words, the burning sensation disappears within minutes. The pressure in the chest subsides. The acid that was irritating the esophagus retreats, and breathing becomes easier. But perhaps more importantly than the chemistry is what this represents. A simple solution, the ability to feel comfortable again, without pills and prescriptions. For older adults who are already taking numerous medications, the opportunity to use something natural, familiar, and affordable is like regaining control over their bodies. Without a visit to the pharmacy, and without unwanted side effects, just a spoonful of baking soda and a glass of water can bring relief. However, this remedy is not suitable for daily use and not for everyone. Baking soda contains sodium, which makes it potentially dangerous for individuals with high blood pressure, kidney issues, or cardiovascular diseases. Nevertheless, for occasional use, especially after a hearty dinner, or if you lie down right after eating, this quick and gentle remedy can be a real lifesaver. Imagine an evening ending with a warm drink, confident that your body is preparing for rest without painful discomfort. This is the magic of this simple powder, not only in what it does, but also in how it does it. And while this remedy is quite effective, it is just the beginning of what water with baking soda can do for your well-being. After all, the same drink that soothes the stomach can also support kidney health, the quiet workers of our body that tirelessly filter every drop of blood. Curious how this works? Let's break down how baking soda affects the kidneys and what every older person needs to know to maintain the health of these vital organs. If you are still with us and find this information useful, please write the word 1 in the comments. Now let's move on to the second part. the support functions of the kidneys. As we age, we become increasingly aware of the importance of the quiet systems in our bodies that have been working unnoticed for decades. Among them are the kidneys, which play an exceptional role in filtering waste, balancing fluids, and maintaining a delicate equilibrium between acidity and alkalinity in the body. The kidneys are the organ that allows all other systems in the body to function properly. However, with age, especially in the presence of chronic diseases such as diabetes or high blood pressure, the efficiency of the kidneys begins to decline. Initially, this may manifest in subtle ways, such as fatigue, swelling in the legs, or changes in urination. However, these signals indicate an internal imbalance that requires attention. This is where a simple remedy that is found in almost every home, baking soda, can play an unexpected role. Recent studies have shown that baking soda, or more specifically sodium bicarbonate, can provide significant benefits to individuals with early-stage chronic kidney disease. The issue lies in acidity. When the kidneys begin to function less effectively, the body struggles to remove acid from the blood. This leads to a condition that doctors refer to as metabolic acidosis. Such a condition accelerates kidney damage, creating a vicious cycle of declining health. Taking baking soda in small amounts under a doctor's supervision helps neutralize excess acid in the body. This is not just temporary relief. There is evidence that baking soda may slow the progression of the disease. During one of the lengthy studies focused on patients with chronic kidney failure, it was found that those who took sodium bicarbonate demonstrated a slower decline in kidney function. Many of them were able to avoid the need for dialysis. This is not just a scientific discovery. It is an opportunity to give oneself a second chance, to maintain independence, to avoid complex medical procedures, and to continue living a full life. Imagine helping your kidneys not with medications, but with something as simple and familiar as water and a spoonful of baking soda. For many elderly patients, especially those who are already taking numerous medications, the idea of maintaining health with an accessible and natural remedy brings relief and hope. Of course, caution is required. Baking soda contains sodium, so its use requires special attention for individuals with severe forms of kidney disease, heart failure, or fluid retention. Regular use must be coordinated with a doctor, as the goal is to support rather than create additional strain. However, even considering these precautions, baking soda can be surprisingly effective in maintaining the body's internal balance, and its beneficial properties do not end there. In addition to helping the kidneys combat acidity, it can alleviate another of the most unpleasant problems faced by elderly individuals: urinary tract infections. Can ordinary baking soda reduce burning sensations, frequent urges to urinate, and feelings of discomfort? You may be surprised by the results of scientific research and what you can do at home to ease symptoms. Relief from urinary tract infections. Few ailments in old age cause as much discomfort and disrupt daily life as urinary tract infections. Women, in particular, often encounter these issues. Frequent urination and unpleasant sensations in the lower abdomen become constant companions, returning again and again. These infections not only cause physical pain, but also disrupt sleep, robbing individuals of comfort and confidence. Certainly, antibiotics remain the primary method of treatment. But what should one do if symptoms persist between courses? What if something simple could provide at least a little relief? In this case, baking soda could serve not as a medication, but as a gentle, supportive remedy. When dissolved in water, it becomes alkaline and raises the pH level of urine. This change makes the environment in the bladder less favorable for the reproduction of bacteria, especially Escherichia coli, which prefers an acidic environment. Elderly individuals with recurring infections often suffer from chronic inflammation, even when acute symptoms are absent. A more alkaline environment may reduce irritation and lessen the constant discomfort that doctors sometimes overlook. Science is beginning to confirm what many have long noticed themselves. In one study, women suffering from frequent infections used sodium bicarbonate as part of a comprehensive treatment and reported fewer flare-ups, as well as a reduction in burning sensations and urges. A simple method, dissolving half a teaspoon in warm water, can help restore a sense of control, especially when the body behaves unpredictably. This small ritual can provide comfort during anxious moments. You can do this right now while waiting for a doctor's appointment or during breaks between treatment courses. It offers relief without the need for additional medications, which is particularly important for elderly individuals whose lives are often filled with numerous medications. However, it is essential to remember that this is not a substitute for professional medical care. Urinary tract infections in older adults can progress rapidly, especially in the presence of diabetes or when using a catheter. They should be taken seriously, but as additional support, especially with a doctor's approval, baking soda can be a helpful ally on the path to recovery. And while it is nice to know that baking soda can alleviate internal discomfort, its beneficial properties do not end there. Believe it or not, the same solution that helps with bladder issues can also relieve gout, a sudden sharp pain in the joints that occurs without warning. If you have ever woken up in the middle of the night because a joint became red, swollen, and so painful that even a light touch felt unbearable, you know how tormenting gout can be. It is not just pain. It is acute, piercing suffering that completely disrupts daily life. For older adults, gout is often perceived as a betrayal of their own body, especially if a person tries to eat healthily, stay active, and follow all the doctor's recommendations. Yet, the attacks keep returning. Gout is caused by the accumulation of uric acid in the blood, which crystallizes in the joints, most often in the big toe, ankle, or knee. These tiny crystals feel like shards of glass under the skin, triggering a powerful inflammatory response from the immune system. The solution is not always straightforward. Medications do play an important role. But what if there is something gentle and simple that can be done at home to reduce the frequency or intensity of attacks? Baking soda, as unexpected as it may seem, can help. Its action is related to its ability to increase the alkalinity of the body. When you drink a solution of baking soda in water, the acidity level in the body shifts slightly toward alkalinity. This is important because, in such an environment, uric acid becomes more soluble and is more easily excreted through urine. This means fewer crystals, and even if they do form, they can dissolve more quickly. For older adults suffering from recurrent gout attacks, this can provide real relief. Recent scientific studies show that sodium bicarbonate, when used under medical supervision, can lower blood uric acid levels and correct metabolic disorders that trigger attacks. Although baking soda is not a standalone treatment and cannot replace prescribed medications, it can be a helpful addition in the fight against this painful condition. It may become part of prevention and a small daily step toward reducing pain. However, even more important is what this ritual symbolizes: a sense of strength and control. It is easy to feel helpless when the body does not cooperate, but by stirring a teaspoon of baking soda into warm water and slowly drinking this beverage, we are engaging in more than just a healthful act. It becomes a moment of self-care. It is a way to show respect for our bodies and to listen to their quiet signals. However, the benefits of baking soda are not limited to just the joints. Just as it can dissolve crystallizing substances in the body, it neutralizes acids and bacteria that linger in the oral cavity, causing unpleasant odors and discomfort. Can this gentle remedy help freshen breath and support oral health? You may be surprised by what lies behind this simple smile. As we age, we begin to feel the minor discomforts that we once easily ignored. A small sore, dryness, sensitivity, or awkwardness due to potential bad breath. This is part of everyday reality for many elderly individuals. It is not serious enough to warrant a doctor's visit, but it is enough to undermine confidence and peace in conversation. Whether it is healing wounds, sensitivity from ill-fitting dentures, or changes caused by medication and dry mouth, this is a real, albeit rarely discussed, issue. Baking soda, well known in the kitchen, can be a good and effective ally. Its use in oral care has a long history. Our ancestors used it to freshen breath and clean teeth, but its power is based not only on tradition, but also on scientific evidence. Sodium bicarbonate neutralizes acids in the mouth, creating an environment where harmful bacteria struggle to thrive. These bacteria are the cause not only of bad breath, but also of irritation to the mucous membranes, plaque, and even gum inflammation. Using a baking soda solution as a gentle mouthwash, just half a teaspoon in a glass of warm water, can provide noticeable relief. For those prone to sores or experiencing pain from dentures, this solution reduces burning and promotes healing. It does not irritate, unlike alcohol-based products, and gently normalizes the acid-base balance, allowing the tissues to recover in peace. Elderly individuals suffering from dry mouth or taking medications that disrupt saliva production often find real relief in this simple remedy, and sometimes even complete restoration. When it comes to breathing, baking soda does more than just mask odors. It alters the chemical environment so that the sources of the smell cannot exist. This leads to a feeling of cleanliness, increased confidence in communication, and a smile, transforming a small ritual into an act of self-respect. It serves as a reminder that even minor discomforts deserve attention. Dignity is not just the absence of illness, but also the integrity of sensations that lead to a smile. But what is even more surprising is that the benefits of baking soda are not limited to the oral cavity. Just as it neutralizes acid and alleviates irritation from within, it can help the body recover after physical exertion, reducing soreness and aiding tired muscles in returning to normal more quickly. It is intriguing how a simple drink can help one move more easily and with less pain. Let us explore this. The sixth benefit is the reduction of pain after physical activity. For many elderly individuals, activity is a gift. It is a way to maintain independence, strengthen the heart, and feel connected to life. A morning walk, gardening in the sun, or gentle stretching during rehabilitation exercises all provide freedom, but often come with pain. The next day, stiffness in the joints, tension in the muscles, and familiar movements can become twice as difficult. In those quiet moments of discomfort, sitting on the edge of the bed or holding onto the railing, many wonder, is this what aging feels like? The truth is that some soreness is natural and even beneficial. It is the body's way of recovering and becoming stronger, but there is a difference between normal recovery and persistent pain that hinders enjoyment of life. In this case, a simple drink of water with baking soda comes to the rescue. We often perceive sodium bicarbonate as a remedy for heartburn or as a kitchen ingredient, but it also acts as a natural buffer in the body. After physical exertion, lactic acid builds up in the muscles, causing that burning sensation and soreness known as delayed onset muscle soreness. A small glass of water with baking soda, consumed shortly after activity, can help neutralize some of this acid, create a more favorable internal environment, and accelerate muscle recovery. It does not eliminate fatigue, but it can slightly soften its effects. This allows one to feel freer the next day, move with greater ease, stretch, and return to favorite activities without unnecessary hesitation. This is especially important for elderly individuals who are just beginning to recover after illness or surgery. Gentle support can be the deciding factor in whether you move forward or give up due to frustration. This also encompasses psychological comfort, as something so simple and familiar from childhood can become a significant source of support. Just a teaspoon dissolved in a glass of water and a calm sip can create the feeling that you are taking care of your body from the inside, naturally, without violence or artificiality. This is not just recovery, it is a process of healing with dignity. Surprisingly, the support that baking soda provides does not stop there. Just as it helps your body recover after physical exertion, it also plays an important role in a deeper process, maintaining the body's acid-base balance. This is a quiet foundation of vitality, immunity, and cellular health. Can a slight change in acidity affect the functioning of the entire body system? Let us explore. Our bodies possess remarkable wisdom. Every breath, every heartbeat, every process of digestion and cellular renewal depends on a delicate chemical balance. One of its most important components is the level of acidity, which most of us rarely consider. If the acid-base balance shifts even slightly toward acidity, it can lead to fatigue in the body, inflammation, and a predisposition to chronic diseases. As we age, the body loses some of its ability to maintain this balance on its own, making it particularly important for older individuals. Modern diets, which are high in meat, sugar, and processed foods, and low in fresh vegetables, lead to increased acidity. Combined with stress, medications, and low physical activity, this creates additional strain on the body. While the acidity level of the blood is strictly regulated, other parts of the body, such as muscles, joints, and even bones, may begin to suffer as they compensate for this imbalance. In such cases, baking soda in its simple form can prove beneficial. A small amount, properly diluted in water, acts as an alkaline buffer. It does not interfere with the body's natural mechanisms, but works alongside them. It helps neutralize excess acids that accumulate in the tissues, reducing the burden that the kidneys and lungs face daily. Many older individuals who have added a baking soda solution to their routine several times a week report feeling lighter, more energetic, and more alert. This is not magic. It is the intelligent use of chemistry. It is not about extremes. It is not about turning the body into an alkaline machine, as some popular theories claim. It is about support, balance, and assisting the body in doing what it is already trying to do, but with less effort. When internal balance is achieved, all aspects of life begin to improve. Digestion gets better, energy levels rise, sleep normalizes, and immunity strengthens. However, the effects of baking soda do not stop there. Correcting the acid-base balance with baking soda affects not only the internal organs and cells, but also impacts the external coverings. Just as excessive acidity in the blood can cause discomfort both internally and on the skin, it can manifest as dryness, itching, and irritation. Can a baking soda soak or rinse soothe the skin as effectively as it calms the stomach? The answer may surprise you. This might be the gentlest and most accessible skincare remedy that has always been at your fingertips. Over time, we begin to realize what is often overlooked in youth. True health lies not in following trendy fads and seeking quick fixes, but in the ability to listen to the quiet signals of the body and respond to them with care, wisdom, and simplicity. Baking soda may seem humble, inexpensive, and unremarkable, but it possesses real power. This ancient healing tradition is increasingly supported by scientific research today. From improving digestion and alleviating joint pain to supporting kidney function and refreshing breath, this simple powder offers a state of well-being that acts gently and consistently. In a world where medications and procedures can seem overly complicated, the beauty of something so natural and accessible lies in its ability to restore a sense of control. It reminds us that healing does not always come in the form of prescriptions. Sometimes it begins with a scoop of baking soda, a glass of water, and a desire to care for oneself in a new way. However, the most important idea to take away is not just about baking soda. It is about your right and responsibility to explore various options, ask questions, and be wise guardians of your body. You have lived long enough to understand that there is no one-size-fits-all solution, which is why balance and caution are so important. Before making any changes, especially if you have chronic conditions or are taking ongoing medications, be sure to consult with a doctor. Baking soda is a powerful remedy, but like all powerful things, it requires a sensible approach. Now that you are aware of its benefits, you hold not just information, but understanding in your hands. Whether you decide to try a baking soda solution with water or simply keep this knowledge, you have taken a step toward a more conscious and profound life. May these small changes bring about significant transformations. May aging be not a decline, but a rebirth. And thank you for choosing curiosity, for caring about your health, and for being open to new possibilities. Your journey is not complete. It is merely deepening, and you are exactly where you need to be. These lessons are meant to inspire you to live fully and sincerely. Share what you have learned with those you hold dear, for you never know whose life a small drop of wisdom may change. Now, I would love to hear your thoughts. Share what conclusions you have drawn and what you plan to implement in your life. Let us support each other on the path to understanding the truth.